Hi, this is a short introduction to the usability model for software development process and practice. Motivation is to help improve uh, users' experience for software development process and practice users. Um, we mean to help process designers, managers, and coaches to help people with adoption processes, and we mean to provide a language focused on people when considering ways of working. The usability model is structured around 10 usability subcharacteristics, and each subcharacteristic has several metrics for a total 25 usability metrics. The model subcharacteristics are self-evident purpose, which means whether process or practice so purpose is evident by itself, by its name. Uh, Learnability is about how hard it is to learn to perform the activities of a process or practice. Understandability is about grasping the, the inner reasons why a process or practice actually works and what users need to get in order to get the results that they're supposed to get from the following that process or practice. Safety is about the cost of error and improving the perception of safety for users of their own processes or practices. Feedback is about confirming the reactions in the world to our actions and allowing us to proceed to the following activities. Visibility is about seeing the results of our work or the status of our processes or uh, the impact of our interactions. Controllability is about managing the intermediate uh, status or byproducts of our activities and being able to influence outcomes according to need. Adaptability is about changing process or practice so that they will suit us in different contexts. Attractiveness is um, about newcomers to a process or practice and how much they are into trying that out. And user satisfaction is about people who have already had experience with the process of practice and what it meant to them. So as an example of subcharacteristic and metrics, we can see here self-evident purpose. Our two metrics are appropriateness of name and recognized purpose. Appropriateness of name measures whether the name is appropriate for describing the purpose of practice. Values are deceiving, ambiguous, partial, appropriate, or accurate. And recognized purpose measures whether the purpose of the process of practice is usually recognized by new adopters. So it is a subjective measure in both cases. In this second one, recognized purpose, the evaluator is saying whether in his or her experience most new adopters recognize the purpose or not. So other metric examples are for understandability, conceptual model correspondence, which means whether my mental model of the activities involved in a practice or process, whether they match the actual conceptual model that the designers had for the practice or process. And the same for complexity index is how complex it is from my point of view when I have to understand it. Controllability has a metric called defines checkpoints, which has a yes or no response, and to define whether the process defines explicit checkpoints where we can make decisions and evaluate status. And safety has a couple examples here. Cost of incorrect adoption, which is how high is the cost of misunderstanding or applying a process or practice incorrectly. And use of restraining functions is measures whether the process or practice defines hard restrictions to things that could have potentially significant impact or produce harm. So you will find in the questionnaire the definition for all of these metrics. So the evaluation process is as follows. For each subcharacteristic, you need to read the description. You can comment on how you see that the evaluation for that subcharacteristic could go. You can add rationale, analysis, or some generic comments. And then you have, for each metric on that subcharacteristic, you have to assign values. You can read the definition of the metric, assign the values, and then you can add comments again with the rationale, analysis, or other clarifications. So you have a comment for the general subcharacteristic and a comment for each of the metrics. Some recommendations. Please ask questions if you're not sure or state your assumptions. Consider a standard or well-implemented practice or process, not generally failed implementations except if you're explicitly asked for them, and specify reference sources if necessary in the comments section. It could be a book or an article or official guide, etc. Thank you very much. Here are the links to a summary sheet with all of the model definitions and previous research. Thank you so much.